What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to TTB Ravens Media. We just saw the Kansas City Chiefs take down the Dolphins. Shout out to Tua. Still sucks. Just want to give a shout out. That's just for Mike right there. Mike's a big Tua fan, so already hurting his day so far. So hopefully Ravens are able to come out on top. If you guys missed it, we had a pregame show yesterday, or just episode that we posted to podcast platforms as well as YouTube. So if you haven't checked it out and you're like, man, I want some more analysis, obviously you can go check it out. It's pretty close to game time. But shout out to everybody that did watch it. But Joshua, it's game day. How you feeling for today?
Oh man, I'm feeling pretty good. We back in the city, man. And there's nothing like, playing back in front of the home fans, man. I know they ready to, to put on a show for the Baltimore, and we want to see a show be put on for the city, man. So I'm definitely loving the energy. I'm definitely loving the vibes. Happy birthday to OBJ. Let's not DTM. I know we want to see him eat, but let's not DTM today because it is his birthday. But man, I'm feeling pretty good, man. I'm feeling pretty good. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm excited. It's a good day of football. The Germany game wasn't great, even though it ended up being a one possession game. It was kind of just a boring game overall. I was just one-sided in each half. Chiefs dominated, but I think it's a good slate of games. Obviously, Ravens, Seahawks, big one, and then you got Cowboys, Eagles, and then finally Bengals, Bills to finish it off. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. Benjamin's in here, says sack that like button like it's Geno Smith. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I know.
We're looking forward to some big games from this Ravens defensive line, trying to get pressure, trying to force Geno to make those bad decisions that we talked about yesterday. Because you're facing a 2-loss team, and you want to come out and you want to show the NFL that, hey, you're a team that's not to be trifled with. You want to be a team that people fear playing, and the Ravens showed that against Detroit. They need to show it off again as a team that you do not want to play. They can't be having these weeks where they just, immensely struggle like they did early in the season. So let's see how it goes. I do like Lisa brings up Jim Nantz and Tony Romo on the call. It's got to be better than last week. Last week's announcers were I don't know who that was. They were the worst announcer I've ever heard.
The other guy, I know he had to be a young guy. I think it was like last name. The one that last name was like Lewis, something like that. But yeah, they was trying. But it didn't succeed. But no, I mean it's definitely gonna be a great game. I love the fact that you brought up, that the Ravens. Everybody has high expectations for the Ravens. Even the Ravens have high expectations for themselves. The only thing is, you had to be. We keep on preaching about it. Consistently execute. So we had to keep on, playing to our strengths. Build and continue build on what we've been doing. I like how they did make the second half adjustment and got the double securing the game with running the ball. Like, don't go away from what's been getting you to the finish line. So I definitely want to see how we continually execute. On the offensive side of the ball, I'm not really worried about the defense. The defense, they've been showing up and showing out. If anything, that defense is reminding me of that. That 2012 defense, because they're getting at the ball. It was positions that we was worried about, versus secondary, and whether we was going to get pressure on that front line. But hey, showing it, we are getting interceptions, we are getting sacks. Justin Matabike is having a hell of a year. Jadeveon County, Calvin Noy, they've been stepping up. Adafio Ways had his moments of glimmer. I don't know when we're going to get Tyus Bowser back. He hasn't spoke on his injury yet. We may not see him for the rest of the season, and we may get some glimpses of him. But we seen a little dashes of Malik Harrison in the game, and Roquan of PQ, man, is it's not I wouldn't say a nuance, but it's definitely special. It's a fresh rejuvenation of what Ravens defense is about, especially when it comes to that linebacker core as well. So it really comes down to that offense, getting a groove, getting the run game established. Morgan Moses will be out today. Daniel will be playing a lot of right tackle. We're looking forward to see that, and possibly seeing our future right tackle. How he progresses in this game as well. That's something I'm definitely going to be looking out for.
Yeah, and I think we will actually be seeing Patrick McCary over at right tackle. However, if well, we could definitely see Daniel Falele. Flock Nation says, hope for a Detroit-like performance. Exactly. You want to have a performance like the Chiefs did in the first half against the Dolphins. You want to come up, you want to make some big plays, and you want to keep your foot on the gas because you don't want a team to come back like that. Because the Seahawks are a team that are explosive. They're a team that can make big plays, and that's been a thing that's hurt the Ravens in recent years. Is they get up early, and then teams that have those explosive playmakers like Tyreek Hill, Stephon Diggs, Jamar Chase, DK Metcalf, those type of players that are able to just change the game in one quick play. They've kind of punished the Ravens and they've allowed teams to get back in games. But we're going to see how the Ravens are able to perform against DK and how they perform against Tyler Lockett. And as Mike would say it, a great wide receiver in Jackson Smith. Great wide receiver.
Man, you know what? Jackson Smith Njigba, he wasn't on. I don't think he was on our. He was on our radar, but not highly souted on our radar during the draft. He's a good guy. He's a good guy. He's going to continue to build, and what they're doing out there in Seattle. But right now, I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about that. My defense is looking strong. They're looking healthy. I'm only missing two guys, Marcus Williams and Rock Sin. Yeah.
AJ in here. Shout out to the Chiefs win today.
What's going on, man? It's definitely been some time. We definitely had a bold prediction in the previous episode. If y'all haven't checked it out, go and check it out. I did call Lamar Jackson all 500 all-purpose yards with a Jackson 5 on top of that. So I'm definitely hoping that we can make that shake today.
And Adam 78, low scoring game with two top 5 defenses. Seahawks aren't a top 5 defense. I don't even think they're close. I mean, they haven't played the offenses. Like their opponents have been like the Browns, the Giants, and a bunch of poor offenses. I think they're a good defense, but I wouldn't call them top 5. But I don't expect it to be low scoring. I think both of the teams are too explosive to have it be a really low scoring game. I'm fine with a low scoring game though. Ravens are better in low scoring games. Yeah. I'd love to see a big Mark Andrews game. I'd love to see, honestly, I want to see an Odell Beckham Jr. game. I want to see him get involved more. Again, like Joshua brought up, don't DTM, don't try and force it to him. But I do want to see some opportunities for him on the sideline in jump ball scenarios because you're playing against physical corners, but they're young physical corners, and they're susceptible to penalties. And OBJ has shown this year that he's forced a lot of defensive pass interference calls because he is he's a cheeky route runner. He does cheeky things with the ball in the air. He's able to get the hands underneath you.
Yeah.
Kind of reminds me of a prime James Harden, right? You feel like you're playing good defense. He just all of a sudden brings his arm under yours and you're like, what the heck? There's no way of stopping it. That's what those veterans are able to do. I think he's done a great job of that. He may not go for a ton of yards today, but I do want to see some opportunities for him. And it would be cool to see a touchdown for OBJ in this game, but I'm not banking on that. I think when we get down to the red zone, it's going to be time to pound the rock and feed Mark Andrews. But we're going to find out how exactly the Ravens play against a fast secondary like the Seattle Seahawks have, because they probably have the fastest secondary in the league.
True. They are physical. They definitely are physical. They're not Legion of Boom physical, but they definitely do play some good ball for sure. But I mean, something that Mike, brought up in the previous episode was that they play a lot of zone coverage. We definitely would love to see how they are going to play on wide receivers. Is it going to be man coverage or is it going to be a lot of zone coverage? If it is zone coverage, I do say Odell does eat today for the simple fact that he does know how to sit in those zones. Pockets and make himself available. And he, we did see last week that he was able to get up the field. He does have still a little bit of a burst in him. He's only 30. So I believe, he just turned 30 today, or he just turned 31. Either way, he still got a little giddy up in him. So I definitely would love to see, him get, possibly 80, 100 yards, maybe one tutty. Definitely but I love the fact that he is not he's handling himself well in the media when being asked questions. I don't know if you saw the previous clip of him being interviewed. How he's feeling with not so many receptions and not so many yards. He's talking about, hey, it's like 7 or 8 guys that all want the ball, and there's only one football that can be passed around. I'm just here, I'm just here to help out any way I can possible. And I think that's the best mentality to take. Especially with this type of team and with the role that he's playing on this team as well. So I definitely love the fact that he's willing to be that leader, mentor, that role player, and just get it in where he fits in, honestly.
Yeah, I think in this game, we're going to really see how the Ravens play against a different opponent because they haven't played a team like the Seahawks that want to, hit that hard play action so far this season. You go up against most of these teams and it's, the Steelers, yeah, they want to run the ball, but it's really just the back shoulder fade is what that offense is. That's all they do. You go against the Bengals, they're not trying to hit the play action. They're just trying to hit Burrow or have Burrow hit Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. You played against the Browns, which traditionally, yes, run heavy, but that's really what it is. It's not much of a play action. We didn't play the starting quarterback. We didn't play the starting quarterback against the Colts either. So it's just like, okay, here's a team that has, healthy offense. They're in a good position. They have a healthy defense. They're getting, guys back, and we're going to face them at full strength. And I think, we didn't face the Detroit Lions at full strength, almost full strength. They were missing David Montgomery, but I don't necessarily think he was that missed in that game because Jahmyr Gibbs did have a good performance. So, we're going to see, how the Ravens are able to adapt and face off against a team that's, that's putting together a little bit of a win streak, that's trying to, make a name in the NFC, as they've been a team that's been slept on the last couple of years since Russ left.
Yeah, the whole team been wrote off. in a sense, because between management, between the moves and how things were, compiling, man, it was like, man, will Seattle ever be, that dominant team in the NFC again? And I definitely feel like that they're, moving in the upward direction. But today, sorry, Mr. They wrote me off and you didn't write back. It's just not going to happen here today, man. I'm sorry. We only matched up against them 6 times, and since we've been around, it's been 3-3. I think the record is like 3-3. So I need the Ravens to make it 4-3 today. Mr. Chief,
I'm for it.
Yeah, we definitely going to need that Geno to Geno connection today for sure.
This is a good question right here. I'm going with Matabike. I got to go with Matabike. He's been dominating the interior offensive line. I think he's going to be the guy to watch on the Ravens defense. I think teams are now, offensive coordinators are now having to look at him and be like, that's the guy to stop, which is good because we haven't had that the last couple of years.
Yeah, I think the last time we had an interior defensive lineman get as many sacks, I could be wrong, is Trevor Price. And that's been a long time. I remember that name.
I mean, it's him or Nada.
Yeah,
those are really the only two we've had.
So,
but I'd also love to see a big Michael Pierce game like he did last week. Trying to stop that run with Kenneth Walker. I'd be really happy with a Michael Pierce show-out game.
It depends if it's an incentive day.
That's true. That's true.
If it's an incentive day, yeah, I think we might see a great showing out of Michael Pierce because last week he played out of body for sure. He definitely played out of body. I give him props where props is due, and I love to see that more consistently out of our big guys. Travis Jones, he does what he can, but Justin Matabike is showing that he's leading the helm for that interior D line, and we needed that. We needed one of these young guys to step up, and Justin Matabike, I believe, is now year 3 for him. I think or year 4.
I think it's 4.
Okay. He
was Patrick Queen's class.
Okay, so I mean, we've finally seen that progression. Well, Justin Matabike has been progressing. We've now seen him take that next step. So I definitely would love to see him keep on moving and grooving, and hopefully get that contract extension before it's too late.
Yeah, and it's almost game time. It's weird when we have the Europe games because we start the post game or the pregame stream really late. But we already went over our bold predictions. Joshua had the 5 touchdown, 500-yard performance. I had the big Isaiah Likely game, as well as can't remember what the other thing I had was. Oh yeah, an Odell Beckham Jr. touchdown pass, birthday touchdown pass.
Yeah.
And then on the defensive side of the ball, I have a big Kyle Hamilton game. Joshua, what was your defensive bowl prediction? I'm trying to remember.
I think I had about 4 sacks, 2 from Brandon Stevens, and
that's right,
and pick 6 from Gino.
I love it. Well, everybody, thank y'all so much for coming through. Short pregame stream, but we had the full episode out yesterday. So make sure to come back when we do the postgame stream. Thank y'all so much for watching. We'll see all of you again, hopefully 7-2.